In my whole life, I never thought I'd be able to say that there was a movie that was worse than The Last Jedi. But this is it. You ever have a movie that was so bad it made your eyes itch?
Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens.
There will be spoilers ahead because it doesn't matter. Madam Web's mother is in Peru searching for a specific spider for a specific reason, which I'll get to in a minute. The man who is accompanying her is a who has decided that in life he got the short end of the stick. Decides once she finds a spider that he's just gonna take it from her. But be mindful because that's all the backstory you get with this dude. That's all you get. I didn't get enough in life, so I'm taking everything you got. The end. That's all you get from him. Off screen, she finds the spider. Off screen. And then she runs back into the village and she's like, look, everyone, I found it. I found the spider. The thing that I've been looking for. And then dude just takes it out of her hand. He's like, it's mine now. I'm taking it. And then he puts a gun to her chest. Mind you, she's pregnant. And he puts a gun to her chest for a spider that she just found in the jungle, which means there's more. Let's start with the editing, shall we? The editing was atrocious. Atrocious. It jumped around so bad. You couldn't tell sometimes what you were looking at. Like when the spider-ish thing would be on screen and he would do a flip, then the camera would do a flip. And when it wasn't doing that and it was keeping up with the action, it was doing this. So you don't know what is going on. It couldn't even focus on people's faces because as they're moving, the camera's moving, and you're like, for God's sake, I don't want to. Tell me if you want to watch this. How's this look? Like that? That look interesting? That look like you make you want to burn your retinas out? My next problem is Dakota Johnson's character, Madam Web. I don't know how she became an EMT. She is slow as shit. And when I mean slow, I mean mentally. Mentally, she is super slow. I'm just gonna pose a question to you all. If if perchance someone had like you had saw something happen in your mind, right? And then it came to fruition and you saw it actually take place exactly how it happened in your mind. How many times would that have to happen to you before you were like, "Oh, this is this is a thing I can do. This is something. I should probably this is amazing." Right? How many times? Maybe twice, right? You'd be like, "All right, this is not a coincidence. This is for real." No, not her. Not her. Not her. This lady went through this like 5 times before she even came close to putting these dots together. Do you hear me? Like she was at a party and they were like, uh, why don't we open gifts or something? She was like, we just did that. Are we doing this again? And they're looking at her like, what are you talking about? She's like, what? I, Bitch, I need you to start putting the pieces together, okay? To this puzzle. It's been long enough. It's been long enough. You should know what is going on by now, okay? The shit you're thinking about is happening, okay? And you don't even have to be kind of smart for you to understand that what you're seeing is happening. What you're seeing is happening. What you're seeing is happening. How many times? How many times? The next problem. The next problem I had was the villain. The villain was so bad. You know nothing about him, nothing about his motivations, and he's acting like his death is imminent. Like he is dying in the next 5 minutes. He's hunting this girl so bad. So bad. And his voice never matched what he was saying. His lips were never lining up with the things that were coming out of his mouth. It was just like this. If you can't find these girls, then I will find someone who can, and I will kill you along with them. It was beyond obvious. It was the worst dub I've ever seen ever in life. I just want to say we go before we go any further that Madam Web is supposed to look like this. Okay, an 80-year-old woman who looked like life then just whooped her ass. Not what Dakota Johnson looked like. This is not Madam Web, and it's not like it would help the movie in any way. I just wanted to make this point. My next point is that the bad guys stole a machine from the NSA. This machine allows him to track anyone, anywhere, as long as they run into a camera or anything. What I didn't know that this bad boy could do was he saw the women in his mind, the ones that were eventually going to take his life, and it completely made up an original, perfect sketch of what these women look like with costume. How did you get that, sir? How? How? This machine can draw imaginations? These next three problems are a problem with the plot. And I promise you, they were just invented to move this movie along, and they make no sense. They make no sense whatsoever. My first issue, Madam Web drops the girls off in the woods, right? Because she has to go back to her apartment to get something. Mind you, she has no idea how this spider person is tracking them. She does not know in the slightest how he is able to continue to catch up with them again and again. But she drops these three girls off in the woods alone to wait until nightfall while she goes back to her apartment. Not just goes back to her apartment, goes back to her apartment to read through her mother's books to see if there's anything that can help her with the current situation. You had these books for 30 years. You never read through them? Not only that, couldn't you just go back to your apartment, get the books, and then go back to the girls to help them in any way? Because they could be dying. Again, you have no idea how Spider Person is tracking them. She went back to her apartment, read the books, and then went back to the woods, and it's nightfall. She don't give a damn about these girls. The next problem, and this is a big one, so hang on. She knows that the girls are in trouble, so she drops the girls off at Uncle Ben's house. Wink, wink. After she drops the girls off at Uncle Ben's house, she has to go somewhere. Where do you think she's going? She's going to Peru. She's going to Peru. Why? Why are you going to Peru? You don't know nobody in Peru, bitch. You don't know nobody in Peru. The only connection that you have to Peru is that your mom died there. Why would she go back there? She doesn't know anything about Peru. She just grabbed a backpack and went to Peru like she go there every weekend. She just went to Peru, and for what? She didn't know about the tree people. She didn't know about the people who helped her get born. She didn't know about the people who helped her mom. What was she going to find in Peru? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. I don't understand the connection there. You know, my mom died in Peru. I think I'm going to go back there. Why, bitch? Why? Why are you going to Peru? You don't know anything about Peru. Nothing. Not only do you not know anything about Peru, but your mom died there 30 years ago. So what are you hoping to find? On top of which, she left the girls again with, this time she left them with Uncle Ben. She didn't leave them in the bushes. She left them at Uncle Ben's house, right? But oh no, Peter Parker is being born. And since the girls were staying with Uncle Ben at his house, right? And he has to get Peter's mom to the hospital. What would you do in this situation? There's an active murderer trying to take out the girls, and you got them in this house hold up so that they don't get killed, right? And you have to take your wife to the hospital, or I'm sorry, your sister to the hospital because she's giving birth to Peter Parker. So what would the plan be? For me, it's a no-brainer. You guys stay here. I'm going to take my sister to the hospital. Nope. Everybody get in the car. Everybody get in the car. We're all going to the hospital. And of course, they get seen because we have to wrap this up. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Now we're at the end of this disaster, and Madam Web's still not crippled or blind. But for some reason, there's a warehouse full of firecrackers, and I guess they just decided to set it off, right? They set off this warehouse full of firecrackers, and the firecrackers start hitting this ginormous Pepsi sign, which is everywhere, by the way. I don't know how much Pepsi paid to be in this movie, but it must have been a lot, like a lot. So huge Pepsi sign above this warehouse, and the firecrackers start hitting it. It's enough to tear down the sign that says Pepsi. An entire sign, metal, being torn down by firecrackers, hitting it like bottle rockets, and it's just destroying it, right? So after this whole rigmarole, I'm not gonna even explain the end because it's just dumb. It's just Madam Web telling the girls to duck and dodge and dip and duck and dodge some more, and they get out of trouble, and then Spider Person perishes. He doesn't make it, right? But in the ensuing aftermath, Madam Web falls in the water where she's struck in the face by a firecracker. The same firecracker that has destroyed a steel Pepsi sign has struck her in the face and made her blind and also crippled. In one motion, she hit water. She hit the water. And now she's also crippled and blind. They was just like, oh shit, we forgot that she's crippled and blind. We gotta do something. I got it. Just throw her in the water. We're gonna do both at the same time. I've never seen a more pathetic attempt at making a movie in my entire life. The people who made this should be ashamed. Ashamed. No one wanted a Madam Web movie, especially a Madam Web movie without Spider-Man. The only time I've known Madam Web is when she stops in to offer advice to Peter Parker occasionally. Not enough to make a full-fledged movie out of. This was stupid, and the people who made it are stupid. I feel bad for the actresses because they deserve better than this. Everyone watching it deserved better than this, and I hope nobody goes see your shit movie. Because for you to put this out just says you don't give a damn about story or the people who care about these characters. Least of all, Madam Web. No one gives a shit about Madam Web. No one. Not even Madam Web. I hope people stop going to see your movies altogether until you get your shit together and decide that you want to make a movie that is based on the characters that the stories have been told for. These are side characters who help the original character on his quest. Okay? No one wants to see side character movies, okay? I don't want to see a movie about Robin if there's no Batman. I don't want to see a Lois Lane movie because that shit sounds dumb. I am absolutely in awe. I hope you don't go see this. I hope that I've been able to make you laugh by watching this review. Uh I love you guys as always, and it is absolutely my joy to bring you these types of reviews. So I appreciate the subscribers and the likes and the comments. Please keep them coming. I'm going to try and answer every single comment. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. Y'all be easy, man. Later.